Hey Mariah, this is Adrian Gomez with 212 Athlete. Thanks for coming to the camp. I'm really excited to see what we can do to increase your velocity. So right here, I'm trying to see the angle out of your back leg, and that is 117 degrees. I'd like to see it below 110. What does that mean? I'd like to see you be right around here. So if I took your back hip, went from your back hip down to this line, it'd be, probably 4 or 5 inches. I want you to sit a little bit further down. You can see how your hips are going forward and not staying down, and now they're coming up when you try to drive. So, you throw very, very hard, but I really believe that you could be throwing into the 70s, which is harder than the majority of the players in the whole nation. If we can work on this stuff and get it right. So, out of the back leg, you can see how your leg comes off the ground and then you're throwing the ball. So you could be throwing the ball quite a bit harder had that back leg been on the ground, and the longer it stays on the ground, the greater hip rotation that you have as well. So that's something that I really want you to work on, is keeping your back foot on the ground. There's a few things that are affected by that, and we're going to look at this. This is the angle out of your foot strike. So once your foot hits the ground, you're about 78 degrees. What that means is you're not driving far enough with your front foot, and so you put that foot down early, and you're just about to start pushing, and your leg, because you plant your leg so early, your back leg is forced to come up because it's done pushing. If you strided a little bit further, you'd have the greater likelihood of being able to drive more out of that back leg, which would create more power. Looking at your external rotation at plant leg, you can see off of your knee. Watch how far your knee has to travel just to get over your ankle. So your hips can't start rotating until this knee gets over that ankle. Now I can start rotating, but because your leg's off the ground, you can't rotate anymore, so it just comes up and your whole body has to rotate. So I'd like to have your hips rotate first with your heel pointed up, toe on the ground, and that's going to help you rotate a lot better. So external rotation of your front leg needs to improve for sure. As you plant, let's see where you're at. And this is probably quite a high angle, which is good. That's what we want, 151 degrees, high angle. That's what we want. There's a lot of baseball players are in the 20s, 120s, and it's just too low. So that's a fabulous job. Looking at posture at ball release, you're what we call a B posture, and part of it stems from your front glove, and we talked about that today. I got your front glove up in a few of the drills that we were working on today, and it was a completely different motion. It looked so much smoother and easier. So that's something that we want to work on. So your front glove is going straight down and your arm staying straight. So you can see how the right side's rotating, but your left side isn't. And that's throwing a lot of your issues. A lot of your motion is thrown off because you're doing that. Also, that front knee is really you're not using that front side, and so it's hard for you to rotate. You have a great arm, but you could have an even better arm if you rotated with your front knee, and your front glove was better. So front glove definitely needs to be worked on for sure. I want to see your arm coming in this angle up here and pinching and your elbow staying bent as you drive through. So let's look at your knees still internally rotated at this point, and you're about to throw the ball. So you've got to fix that knee, that lower half. That's going to be huge in your ability to do that. So off of here, we're really close. I'd say it's a little bit of a high elbow, but not much. It's about 5 degrees. It's not a big issue, but it looks pretty on point. Not bad. As you drive through, this is where I want you to work on this. Part of the reason your back leg, number one, isn't down on the ground, and what that does is you can see how there's kind of a connection between your leg and your chest. So you're about to release the ball right there, and if I took a measurement off the back hip to your chest, we're at 26 degrees, and I'd like you to be at 48 degrees. What does that look like? Well, you've got to drive that chest further, but it's all dependent upon this back leg being on the ground. And if your back leg's not on the ground, your chest can't go forward. And you've got to bend at this chest. The chest has got to bend at the hip. Got to rotate through. Front knee's coming back, but you've really got to bend at that front hip, and that's going to really maximize your ability to throw the ball hard. So chest extension for sure, something you got to work on. And the last thing we're going to work on, that front glove's going to help a lot, but as you drive through, that thumb goes down and gets across your body. You kind of stop and you don't get across your body. So I'd like to stop and continue to rotate past and across your body, putting all the stress in your shoulder. See how you're kind of rushing forward? I want you to stop. Drive this chest through. Okay? And bend at that hip level to get across your body. When it comes to your hand fly out, you have a minimal hand fly out, but that's something definitely I want you to work on. That's pretty dang good, but it could be even better. So hand fly out, front glove, front knee, and your angle at foot strike as well are all things that you've got to work on. All this you have access to this online at 212athlete.com at $16 a month. Please let me know if I can do anything for you. Thanks for coming to the camp.